Hey there, and welcome. So, today we're going to jump into a topic that, let's be honest, touches every part of our lives: technology. We're going to look at how it's changing everything. And more importantly, we'll learn some key English words so you can talk all about it.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with our digital world in general, then dive into how tech's changing our daily lives, how we learn, and even where we work. And to wrap it all up, we'll get into that super important idea of finding balance. Sound good? Let's do it.
Okay, first up, our digital world. I mean, think about it. Technology is just everywhere, right? It's in our pockets, on our desks. But that brings up a really big question, one we're going to keep coming back to. Is all this tech making our lives better? Or is it, just making things more complicated?
So, let's drill down a bit. How does this actually show up in our everyday, super fast paced lives? A great place to start is with communication.
It wasn't that long ago that if you wanted to make plans, you actually had to call someone on the phone, maybe even write a letter. But now, totally different story. We shoot off a quick message and boom, we're always connected. And that idea, communicating right away, leads us straight to our very first English word for today: instant.
So, what exactly does instant mean? Well, it's pretty simple. It just means something happens right away, like immediately. Think of instant noodles, or for us, an instant message.
And here's how you'd see it used. Today, communication is instant. This sentence just nails it, right? It sums up that feeling that we can get in touch with pretty much anyone, anywhere, in just a few seconds. But is this always a good thing? Well, it's a mix. There are definitely some great benefits, like being able to stay in touch with family no matter how far away they are. But then there are the challenges. We stare at our screens way too much, and sometimes it feels like we're sending a million messages, but not really saying much?
All right, moving on. It's not just about talking to each other. Technology has totally revolutionized how we learn things. I love this phrase, at your fingertips. It basically just means something is super easy to get. It used to be that if you wanted to learn something, you had to go to a library. Now, with the internet, it feels like all the information in the entire world is literally at our fingertips. And I mean, you can learn anything. Seriously. Want to cook a new dish? YouTube it. Want to learn a new language? There's an app for that, like Duolingo. You can even take classes from top universities on sites like Coursera. It's incredible. Okay, but with all that info out there, there's a catch. We need a whole new skill, and it's called digital literacy. And this is huge. It's not just about being able to Google something. It's about knowing if what you find is true, if it's reliable, and what to do with it. And don't underestimate how important this is. Look at this quote. It says, "Digital literacy is just as important as reading and writing." Wow, think about that. It's not a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's essential for living in today's world. All right, let's switch gears to another huge area technology has flipped on its head, especially recently, and that's work. The whole idea of the office has been completely transformed. And that brings us to this term you hear all the time now: remote work. It's exactly what it sounds like. It just means you're working from home, or a coffee shop, or anywhere that's not the main office. But working from home isn't always easy, right? This quote points out a big problem. It can be really hard to switch off. Now, switch off is a fantastic English phrasal verb, so let's break down what it actually means. So, to switch off is all about stopping your brain from thinking about work so you can actually relax. It's like flipping a light switch in your head from work mode to home mode. And yeah, when your office is also your kitchen, that switch can be pretty hard to find. So, just like with instant communication, remote work has its good and bad sides. The good stuff? No commute, more time with family. That's amazing. But the tough parts are real too. It's hard to switch off, and honestly, it can get pretty lonely sometimes. Okay, for our last section, let's tie this all together. We've seen how tech is in our conversations, our education, our jobs. It's everywhere. So the big question is, how do we manage all of it? Well, it all comes down to one key idea: balance. And that leads us to our last key phrase: work-life balance. This is such a critical idea today. It's all about making sure you have enough time and energy for your job, but also for your personal life, your family, your hobbies. It's about not letting one completely take over the other. So how do we actually do that? How do we find that balance? Well, one of the best things you can do is be smart about it. Use the tech to help you, but also know when to put it down.
Maybe you take a digital detox, some planned time with no screens at all. Go for a walk without your phone. Read a real paper book. Anything to give your mind a break and a chance to recharge.
All right, let's do a super quick review of the great English words and phrases we picked up. We have instant, digital literacy, remote work, that great phrasal verb, switch off, and of course, work-life balance. Awesome.
So, as we finish up here, I guess the biggest thing to remember is that technology is just a tool. It's super powerful for sure, but we're the ones who decide how to use it. So I'll leave you with this to think about. How about you? In your life, does technology help you or does it mostly distract you? Something to consider. Thanks so much for joining me today.